I've arrived in beautiful Innsbruck, Austria. And it's time to board the bus to the city centre, the letter F route. Well, why give a bus a number when you could give it a letter? And so, here we go. With that, welcome to Carl's Travel Channel, where every journey costs less than £200. Please sit back, buckle up and enjoy the ride. And always remember, the nearest exit may be behind you. I often encounter problems in purchasing bus tickets. However, here it was really easy. There was a ticket machine right adjacent to the bus stop, and it even accepted card. The bus fare was a really low €3, or around £2.50 in UK money. The whole journey into the city centre is no more than about 20 minutes. We crossed the beautifully coloured River Inn as we head into town. We then pass the many universities in this area of the city, and it's not long until we arrive into the centre. And welcome to Innsbruck, where I'm very lucky that the weather is glorious. If you happen to be staying at the Grand Hotel Europa, it is literally right across the road from the bus stop. But alas, I'm not. Everywhere you look, there is a backdrop of beautiful mountains. After all the travelling here, I was hungry now, so it was time to enjoy a local dish. Like this McDonald's. Still, they have more variation of items on the menu here than in the UK. This was located in the Seal Park shopping centre, just behind the Bahnhof. Now I've eaten and recharged my batteries, it's time to explore the city. The first attraction I came across was the Tyroler Landesmuseum Ferdinandium. A very short name, also known as the Tyrolean State Museum. Alas, it was closed, and it does not say on their website when it will reopen. However, for its namesake, it is important to point out that Innsbruck is the capital of the Tyrol region of Austria, with the local culture being described as Tyrolean. And opposite here is the beautiful, orangey yellow coloured Tiroler Landestheater, with the more modern House to Music next door. I then head to what is probably one of Innsbruck's most famous attractions, the historic Old Town Square, or Altstadt. And the centrepiece of this square is the Golden Roof. It was finished in the year 1500 and is decorated with 2,657 fire-gilded copper tiles. In the next square along, the Domplatz, is the Dom St Jacob, an 18th century Baroque cathedral. Also on the Domplatz is the Diocese of Innsbruck, or the Bishop's House. Anyhow, let's head down through this alley, as we have a train to find. If you're coming from the Old Town, this is the quickest and scenic way to walk. En route, we pass by the Congress Innsbruck, which I must admit I thought was a local parliament building. However, it is actually a convention centre. The array of flags, however, give it a very governmental feel. It looks very modern. However, a convention centre has actually been on this site for over 400 years. In around an only 5 minutes walk, we make it to our destination. Its unique entrances were designed by architect Zaha Hadid. And so we head down into the Hungerburgbahn. It was opened on the 1st of December 2007 and connects the city centre with the Hungerburg and the top of Innsbruck. Over here you need to purchase your ticket, which includes not just one, but 3 train and cable car rides, for the excellent price of €47. And we make it just in time on board the Funicular railway train. Its end-to-end journey is approximately 366 seconds. You could get an excellent view standing here right at the front next to the driver. And so, here we go.
Nächster Halt, Station Löwenhaus. Bitte nutzen Sie die Haltemöglichkeiten in den Kabinen. Next stop, Löwenhaus Station. Please use the handhold in the cabin.
I've sped the journey up to 2 times the speed, so you don't get too bored. This first tunnel section is known as the Rennweg Tunnel and is 371 metres long. Arriving at the first stop, Lionhouse. In this next section, with the video at regular speed, we cross the beautiful Inn Bridge with its azure blue waters.
Nächster Halt, Station Alpenzoo. Bitte nutzen Sie die Haltemöglichkeiten in den Kabinen. Next stop, Alpenzoo Station. Please use the handhold in the cabin.
It's unique and fresh alpine colour. And then we go in to the Hungerburgbahn tunnel, which is 445 metres in length. Inside here, as you can see, is a tight, impeccably timed crossover where the 2 trains pass. It's called the Abster Turnout. This looks more like a roller coaster than a regular railway. Then arriving into the station for Innsbruck's Alpine Zoo, which is 750 metres above sea level.
Nächster Halt, Station Hungerburg. Umsteigen zur Sektion 2 Seegrube. Bitte nutzen Sie die Haltemöglichkeiten in den Kabinen. Next stop, Hungerburg Station. Change for Section 2 Seegrube. Please use the handhold in the cabin.
This final section here is a 462 metre long, reinforced concrete bridge. And that's it, we arrive at Hungerburg, 860 metres above sea level. From looking down at the architecture of the modern railway, to looking up to my first spectacular view over the city of Innsbruck. And on a day where the weather was perfect, you feel like you've arrived into a fairy tale land. And alas, I wasn't even at the top yet. And another look at the spectacular architecture of the Hungerburgbahn, designed by Zaha Hadid. From here, it was a short walk to the second stage of the journey up to the top of Innsbruck, this time on a cable car. My only complaint here is they had crammed as many people as possible into the cable car, and it was very noisy, so I'm afraid you'll have to make do with music for this section. And that's it, we made it to Seegruber station at the top of the second tier. There is some useful information here on where we are and what is open. A restaurant and bar is also located on this tier. But alas, we have not actually yet made it to the top. There was still the third section. So, here we go. And that was it. Welcome to the top of Innsbruck at Funicular station. We had ascended to 2,334 metres above sea level, and it took just over 30 minutes in perfect comfort. Well, sort of, except the crowded cable car. Time to relax and contemplate and take in the stunning views. Here you can see Innsbruck Airport down in the valley where we landed this morning. If you have not seen my flight video yet, please see the link in the comments. The visitor centre below. It was another 15-minute or so walk to climb up here to the true summit. This would not be easy if you had accessibility requirements. However, I found this well worth the effort for myself. The cross, which denotes the true summit. There's a really exhilarating and adventurous feeling coming up here into these mountains, yet also they are only half an hour away from the city centre. If I had more time, I could sit up here all day and just take in the views. However, you may wish to check the weather, certainly before coming up here. Today I was very lucky that it went in my favour. This particular section of the trail is like an off-road hiking area called the Geo Trail, and there were some people you could just about see climbing up there. Looking back from the Geo Trail to the main summit where we had just been, of the Nordkette. And the visitor centre is now all the way down there below. A closer look at the sign, which explains how the Alps was once the place where the African and European continental plates collided. And if anybody left their glasses up here, they're sitting right here, waiting for you. I then spotted this paraglider who was getting ready to launch himself off the top. And in a rather comedic moment, I sensed he was coming right for me, so I made a run for it. But alas, he was a good 100 feet above. Phew. I wasn't quite this calm about it at the time. Still, the conditions for paragliding up here are excellent, and many come here to fly. Sadly, you will not be seeing me on one of these in a future video. Upstairs, inside the visitor centre, was this restaurant with only 2 or 3 people inside. There were also these nice old historic pictures of the cafeteria. Downstairs in here is the Funicular station at the 3rd tier of the top of Innsbruck. Be sure to keep your tickets and scan here, as it's a very long walk back down. Sadly, all good things come to an end, and it was time to go. In the gondola station, you can see the wheels spinning as it brings the cable and the car up to meet us. I keep an eager lookout with Innsbruck Airport visible down there in the distance. And here it comes. And back down to once again taking the stunning view on the 2nd tier, near Seegruber station. Over here in the white station building is also a large bar and restaurant where you can sit outside. The mountains in the sun today really do look spectacular. Over here is a closed chairlift, which presumably only opens in the winter ski season. After some research, I was unable to find out anything about this online. If you know, please let me know in the comments. And taking a look down presumably what is one of the ski slopes. with a fantastic view of Innsbruck city centre behind. It was then time to board the next cable car down to the first tier. They still looked busy inside, even at this late time during the day. And so, here we go. And that was it. We were back down to the first tier. One final look at the Hungerburg's station architecture. A handy little map is here on the ticket machine to show the full route of the journey. It was then time to reboard the modern and futuristic Hungerburg Railway. And after another just over half an hour journey down, we were back in the old town square. It was then time to catch a bus to my hotel for the night. Letter J to Igls. And another cheap bus fare from the ticket machine at the bus stop for only €3. As before, cards are accepted. Leaving the town of Innsbruck behind, we headed up the hillside, arriving where I would stay for the night, here in the small alpine town of Igls. It was certainly very quiet here compared to Innsbruck. I passed these beautiful traditional houses. I then checked in to my hotel for the night, the Sporthotel Igls. A nice and welcoming lobby and a check-in desk where you even get to sit down to check in. I entered my room, which was just a standard single, to find it was absolutely huge. The bed really looked lost in it. The bed also made for a very comfy night's sleep. A large TV was on the wall opposite, an open hanging wardrobe, plus some quirky sculptures. This mat was provided. I'm not sure what for, maybe yoga. There was then a whole second tier to the room here, with a desk and a coffee machine. With lots of coffee condiments up here provided. A safe. And even a balcony. And yes, it really did have a view over the mountains. I would imagine during ski season this would cost a lot, but I paid an unbelievable €60 or £50 in British money. Many power outlets were also provided right by the bed. Usually they are miles away. The bathroom was clean and perfect sized, with a very good shower. The only noticeable thing in here is the very audible fan noise. Soap dispensers are provided inside both the shower and at the wash basin. The only real drawback with this hotel was its remote location, and the only place I could find to eat nearby was this small cafeteria, serving a kind of pizza dish. And a beer. It was excellent. However, it was exceptionally cheap, as you can see. With that, it's time to say cheers for another video. Full costings of this trip today are on the screen now. As always, great value for money. In the next video, I will be taking an exciting journey across not just one, but 4 countries in only 12 hours. Will I make it? Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. And thank you for watching Carl's Travel Channel.